Welcome back to Neilson Guitars. We are, it's a very rainy, windy day here, so no chance of any spraying lacquer or anything today, which is probably for the best, as you'll see in the next video. So we have a new arrival, so expect a visit from Mr. Shaky Cam, and we're gonna go through a guitar, a new guitar. Well, I say new, it's pretty old. Not quite as grungy as the others, so we'll get Mr. Shaky Cam out and we'll run through it, take it apart, and then I'll tell you what I plan to do when I have got through the other guitars that I was planning or I have started. So yeah, let's go, let's do this. Okay, we're here. Mr. Shaky Cam is here. So this is it. It is apparently a K 1970s. Supposedly, I don't know, Les Paul copy. So it's got a maple neck, probably a plywood body. There's some sort of veneer, you can see here there's some sort of top layer and the bottom, so probably plywood, maybe with a veneer of something on the top. It looks like there's a tiny bit of figure underneath. If I get the light out of the way, maybe you can see that, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have much hope for it looking fancy, but yeah, there's no pickups in it. Everything else is present and correct. Missing a knob on the switch there. For some reason we've been given only one screw from each of the covers, so they swing around. But there we go. I mean, we've got pots and things, but there's no way of knowing whether it makes noise because there are no pickups to make noise. So yeah, I mean it's got a few issues. We've got a missing tuner end there. So we can't really turn it with a pair of pliers. Next bit scratched. So yeah, apparently made in Korea. WO.20980. There we go. If that means something to anyone, then yeah, I'm making the assumption that it is not a proper vintage guitar that needs to be treated with care. The plan is to refinish. I still want to practice refinishing. There's an interesting issue with this one in that I think someone who was really cool put their cigarette, maybe rested it, so there you go. Look, you've got a mash up of binding there, but the wood underneath looks pretty good. I think I'll zoom out a little bit so it focuses. So the wood there, it looks like it's only darkened it, so it might just be that that's in the lacquer, and can just be sort of, you remove the binding, tidy the fretboard up, and then for some reason the nut, you can get a sense of that, but the nut is terrible. It's as if someone's heated it up because it's all kind of gloopy and poorly shaped, poorly spaced. Like the nut slot was there and then the string has moved and kind of, so you can tune it because the string's just about slipped through, but yeah, they are not in the right place. So there we go. Yeah, that's about the size of it really. So if we take it apart, we'll have a look at under the neck. It does make noise. I was able to vaguely play it yesterday. Yes, it's going to need some pickups and a bit of TLC, and then maybe we can make it nice. So I'll get you set up on the tripod, and we can remove everything and see what we got. Let's do this then. So we've got, don't really know where to start. I guess I'll take those cavity covers off, control covers, because otherwise I'm going to end up bending one of them or something. These fit pretty nicely. So. Yeah, it said 1970s in the eBay advert. It said it was £20 plus £10 delivery, so I consider that to be 30 quid. It's quite a solid body. It feels pretty solid, even though there's that veneer over the top. It feels quite solid. Here's something rattling. Oh, the jack. The jack is loose. You can see the jack is wiggling around. So let's get that out of there. Let's just. So yeah, I think it's going to need a few new parts. Hopefully we can find everything we need. And yeah, I mean, I really love the colour of it. I'd like to, it'd be nice if I could tidy it up. Well, I just don't know whether I'm able to tidy it up. I think I might prefer refinishing. Just again, it's a practice thing. It's kind of, I know it seems pointless, but kind of all of this taking frets out just to put them back on again. On guitars, but I think that's how as a guy I spoke to, the guy who runs a little company called, oh blimey, this is a bit It's got gunk in it. Okay, I might need to get a bit of guitar string for that one. The guy who runs Rick Axe Guitars in Bristol, I was talking to him, and he said he got started, you know, setting up guitars and fixing them just by receiving a container full of guitars that were water damaged, and so he got all these guitars for very little, if not free, and was able to just fix them and not worry about breaking them. So I'm trying to use that approach. Okay, I haven't got a container full of guitars, but I have, you know, I'm lucky that I can buy guitars for £30 and, you know, try and make something of them. I don't plan, again, this is one that I have the Les Paul kit that I built, so I've got a free pick as well. Look at that. It's a free pick under the cover. Presumably that was wobbling around. Yeah, I don't plan on keeping it. I've got a Les Paul, I've got the kit that I built, so I'm quite happy to keep that. But if I can make this work nicely and then, you know, give it to someone who really wants to play and maybe can't afford their own guitar, then we both win. You know, we both kind of win at that game. I get to fiddle with the guitar and hopefully make it play. Somebody else gets to actually own it, and my wife doesn't get angry at me for having, I think it's 14 guitars in various forms now. So yeah, I can't even play that well. So yeah, I like fixing them. I have a feeling that's how lots of luthiers get started, is wanting to be around guitars but not actually being able to play them. So yeah, let's get the strings off, and then I'll have a bit of string to poke in that hole, try and get the grungy screw out. So yeah, the tuners are a bit wibbly. Let me slide that over that way, and you can actually see what I'm doing if I bring it around this way. So there we go. Yes, the tuners are a bit wibbly. They're not fantastic feeling, but that's okay. So we'll have these strings off here. I'm surprised it came with all 6 strings. Admittedly, they are kind of encased in this crazy nut, which I will take pictures of once I've got these out of here. I think I may have to pull this string, through. But let's just loosen them off. Oh, you in the movie? You're not in the movie. Sorry about that. Yeah. So that nut something has heated it up. Somehow it has been warmed up to the point where we can't get literally the strings are encased, but that's all right. They'll pull through. We'll have that sorted. So I'm curious to see, whether the truss rod works. Because otherwise it's kind of a fun thing to do, but ultimately no point in doing it. There we go. That's loosening off now. Okay, let's get the old clippers. I should make sure I take a measurement of what strings were on there. So I'm going to cut it. I think the nut is, maybe they used, the nut has decided very quickly to come off. So I have a feeling that it was probably, maybe they used something like acetone or something to stick the nut on, and potentially, I don't know whether they melted the nut somehow. So let's get rid of these guys. Oh, that's the stop bar. Okay, right. Are you seeing that? You're not seeing that, sorry. I'll just remove the stop bar there. I should talk you through what I'm doing while it's not on screen. Let's get these strings out of here. Right, okay, put those on the floor, get them out of the way. Yeah, so I'm going to have to, actually in some cases not able to, I'm not able to get the nut out. This is crazy, all the strings out of the nut. These are well and truly squidged in there. So yes, it's a plastic nut by the look of things, because it has deformed in the way it has deformed. And there we go, let's get this one off. Where's this string going? Is that one going through there? Oh, it's just snapped. Oh, that's pulled out the nut, that one. Right, okay, let's figure out which way round these are going. That's been looped right through, that one. That's weird. Okay, let's give that a clip. So the hardware on this is probably a bit better than the other hardware we've seen on some of these cheap guitars I've bought. Right, okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. So, I mean, there we go. That's that off. Yeah, truss rod. Let's take the truss rod cover off and see what we've got. Screws are a bit slippy. I think I'm using the right screwdriver. Yeah, they're a bit slippy. I don't know whether is that. Oh, that's why I'm just posy like an idiot. That'll be better. Sorry, I was using a posy screwdriver rather than a straight Phillips. not slipping around that much. There we go. So we've got one truss rod hole. I don't have any hex keys down here at the moment, so yeah, there we go. You see that? One truss rod hole, so that is there. Right, I think let's get the neck off it next. See where we end up. See whether there's a shim under here. Whether the neck has ever come off. Screws are a little bit wobbly, so it's possible this is a little bit wobbly as they're coming out. Whether this has ever come off here. Yeah, I had a look online for anyone who knew anything about K guitars and whether there's, you know, for Epiphone and Gibson and Fender, you've got kind of guitar data projects where you can pop in the serial number and it'll tell you where it was built and when it was built. There is nothing like that for K guitars. So right, what do we got? We've got rather a large amount of sawdust in there. Oh, there we are. So rather a large amount of sawdust, but there we go. No shim. One neck. Yeah, I mean it's quite a pretty neck. That I quite like that. Apart from the gouge, the cigarette burn, and yeah. So I mean this was intended. There is a binding issue. So hopefully I can have the binding off it, rebind it. So I say I hope it's not a vintage. Something that if I've somehow stumbled across a guitar that is suddenly worth something. Hopefully I haven't done that. And if I have, then well, I'm gonna just carry on and get on with it. So I don't know what neck that is. I'm not sure. Maybe mahogany. I'm not sure. I don't know my woods yet. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. Let's get these tuners off, or shall we? Let's try and get that. Let's go for the body now. Ooh, so the body is a good weight. Like compared to my Les Paul kit, this is a decent weight of body. I quite like this. What have we got here? We've got wheels that turn, and then screws that are in the body themselves. That could be a problem when finishing. Let's get these out of here. So one trick I saw, to avoid chewing up this is Dave of Dave's World of Fun Stuff, to avoid chewing up the screw heads on these, is to use a t-shirt, and just to get them started you can avoid chewing up the screw head. That's a good tip. I thank Dave for that one. So yeah, let's put that across there. Oop. I only really need one bit. There we go. I might have come up by just with finger pressure anyway. So yeah, the hardware's all intact and all present. I mean it's a bit grubby, but we'll clean off. So the retaining spring thing is there. Stop bars are stop bar, one piece. Stop bar, those flywheels, yeah, so there are bits, I don't know whether those are going to come out. So let's try and get the tops off these knobs. Are they going to come off? Are they going to move? They might not move. Let's very, very gingerly try and lever them off. That's going to bend, don't do that. There we go. I've heard Stu Mac make a tool for this. Stu Mac make a tool for everything. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, are these the speed knobs? I can't remember what they're called, but they're quite nice. They're in pretty good nick. Got a little bit of paint on them or something. Is it something that looks like Tipex? It might be a scratch. Maybe they can be polished up. There we go. So we've got that. Now where's my? I got it in. There we go. The gatory job. Hopefully we can get a grip around there. Let me get on there. It's not going to work. I'm going to need actual spanners for this. No, I'm going to need actual spanners. Okay, forget that. That's not going to work. So, okay. Yeah, so, I mean, it looks, my guess would be pretty, all the rubbish is falling off there. My guess would be original wiring, because that looks pretty pretty old. So hopefully that's the case. Yes, the pickups have been removed. I don't know when maybe they stopped working, and that's why the guitar ended up being left and got rid of. But yeah, so here we are. We've got a kind of deep maroon red. Maroon, is that the colour? Yeah, Les Paul, which I think is quite nice. I quite like this. Just going to try and clean this screw out, clean the grub out of this screw on the jack. Hold it to try and see whether I can get in there with a screwdriver. Oh. There we go, I've just got some movement. It'll be enough. Eventually. There we go. Yeah, so that screw is dead, I think. I have to apply quite a lot of pressure there, just to get it to turn a little bit. Nope, still doesn't want to come. I don't know what it's got in it. Blimey, might be a pair of pliers job. Don't think I have a pair of pliers in my toolbox. I really should get some. So yeah, I'm just trying to, let's pull it around here. I'm right-handed, so it might be a bit easier to... Can it come in? So I've got my hand over it. It's turning occasionally. Let's go back at it with the bit of strings to try and clean the... There is some deep-seated poop in there. But yeah, I think the screw has also been ratted, so... There we go. Getting that now. Still not quite ready for fingers. Come on. Looks like it's just spinning. Let's try a slightly bigger screwdriver. I think it's one of these ones that's going to need some pressure behind it before it'll start to move. There we go. There we go. Ooh. Is this what you paid up for viewing? Well, paid up, you haven't paid anything, have you? But is this what you wanted to view? One man struggling with a jack plate cover. One man struggle. Ooh, there we go. So we have a jack plate. Let's put that back on there. A rather squashed retaining washer. Okay, let's put that back on there. Cool. So that can be pulled right through the guitar now. Yeah. Okay. Don't think that's going to have to be cut. I think that switch is going to have to be cut out of there because there's not enough room to manoeuvre that back. I'd very much doubt it goes back through the body. There's not going to be enough room there. So yeah, well, I might do all the cutting and stuff a little bit later. But there we go. That's well, a new thing to do when it's time to, when I've got time to do it. Yeah. Oh, I have interesting news. Well, interesting for me anyway. We have a second subscriber to the channel, so thank you very much. I don't know who you are because you apparently keep your subscription secret, but thank you very much for subscribing, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. This screw here is completely rusted. Can you see that? There's barely any screw head there, so I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have to figure out how to get that one out of there. So, yes, I think that's probably vaguely interesting video there. But yeah, so that's the plan, is probably refinish and yeah, try and tidy it up, make it play. Yeah, the tuners on the neck. Let's get the tuners off the neck, because I'm just fiddling about with the body. Ooh. So yeah, the tuners are a little bit you can hear them kind of rattle. Some of them are just loose, some of them are, I think, broken, but they're quite nice looking tuners. So whether I've got, from an old 12 string, I've got a load of ends from a 12 string that had some missing ends, so it might be possible I find something that matches up there, and these can be reused, because it's nice to keep the original. Yeah, whether I've got, I mean, it had something like, I think this 12 string, I got it for free, it had 3 different types of tuner on it, so I bought a new set of tuners but kept the old ones because I figured they would, you know, they could be useful in the future. So I don't know whether I have 6 the same, whether I've got 6 the same, whether these come off easily, I don't know. Whether these can be persuaded to come off. I mean, that one came off, you know, the one that broke, so yeah. So there we go, so here's the tuners off it. Whether this would benefit from some, you know, those kind of, the vintage, not the metal tuners, I don't know what they're made of, the plasticky ends, the kind of greeny, beigey plastic ends, whether you go for a full vintage look. If you have any suggestions about what to do with it, but yeah, there we go. So, ooh, are they going to come out? No, they might have to be persuaded out if they're not glued in. Oh, there's one that's different as well. One of the ferrules is different from the others. So yeah, never know. Maybe that's the ferrule I need for the bass guitar. So that one, yeah, that one didn't want to stay in the spot. So, oh, they do come out. They're not glued in completely. There we go. It's just this side are a little bit keener to stay in. So yes, it needs a good clean up. And then yeah, the headstock. There is. I'll give it a bit of a rub. Get rid of something. No, can't get rid of any of the caked on rod. Yeah, there are chips and things, but it would be nice to keep the K, you know, this logo if possible, but entirely possible it is, and it doesn't make it, and if so, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, and then K. So as I understand it, it's a very, very cheap guitar from the 70s. So yeah, hopefully I'm not about to destroy an artifact or alter it, yeah, completely alter it. But yeah, I think probably about it for this guitar. There's the ferrules out, they are out. So yeah, you can see there's a little bit of discoloration there, so that's the colour it was when it maybe came from the shop. And over time it has got taken on a new colour. But yeah, I think it should be interesting. Could be quite nice. So I'm looking around, just seeing whether there's anything else interesting that is worth looking at. Probably not. So yeah, there we go. I'll put it here. So this one will be put on the back burner. I think it will be. I'm only taking it apart so I can pack it up in, and it's not occupying a guitar, you know, full guitar shaped space in my office. Yeah, so we'll reconvene on this one. I think once some other guitars are done. So yeah, there's an introduction to the K Les Paul restoration. Catch you soon.